right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging on for us here. Sorry for the delayed entrance into today's stream. That being said, we don't have a ton of announcements before today's show, so I'm actually just going to hand things right over to Corey for our final episode of A Matter of Delivery. Corey, take it away.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, fuck it. Sorry, I was trying to... I thought maybe I had...
A strong start.
Everyone, just be aware that my ears are really in your voice right now.
Speak
so
softly,
that's all.
Being the operative.
Please.
Thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Will do.
Yeah, so does anyone remember what happened last time? We took a week off, so probably pertinent to talk about.
I can give a breakdown. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and I was going to say, to break down, if memory serves what happened last time, we had made our way into the mines and had tried to investigate, but it became very clear very quickly that the presence of the Nocturne ship, that had been embedded in the side of the mine was the source of much of the clearly very real malevolence, and that there was a Nocturne captain who appeared to be a sort of guiding and puppeteering the control of what was happening in the mines, and we came face to face with this rather literally near the end, and that's where we left off. Feel free to flesh out the details there more.
Yeah, you guys made your way into the mines. You found that they were hauling things out of the mines. Nobody was like talking. They were just kind of performing actions. They weren't actually processing anything. They were just like clearing the mine out. As you made your way into the mines, some of the dazed miners became aware of you and started shuffling after you. And through a series of dangerous maneuvers, you guys were able to get to the center of the mine, being chased by a group of what is essentially monsters. They are dazed miners who are lost to this world, as it were. And as you came into the facility, you saw a bunch of these miners working at like a workshop, repairing items for the airship and bringing them in on board. You saw the Nocturne captain in full regalia. He is a black cloaked, sort of smoky figure who carries a rapier at his side, essentially, and has a twisted metal mask for a face. There was also Foreman Gundar, who had black lines working up his arms from the metal mask that he had clutched in his hand. And as you came into this facility, that is where the singing became much, much louder for you, Dale. Or Grail, rather. Grail. And that is where we left off. Behind you is the shuffling of a number of dazed miners, and in front of you is this elaborate workshop. It is pulsating with all kinds of light. You're all wearing environmental suits, which is good because the air here is just concentrated with, like, you can see glittering in the light that is flitting through the airship. Just these thin strips of glass that are everywhere. Suffice to say, too, you did find out that the actual suspensor fields that the ship has, like the force fields that are still running and have been running, keep all of that glass particulate within the mine. So that ship moving poses a very real environmental disaster for the people of Starlight Mines Township.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a reminder, let's shoot over to our caravan sheet and our contract. Caravan sheet, you guys, threatening D12. You'll get D12s for performing threatening actions or behaving in threatening ways. This is your ship. It has all of those things. You're bad at diplomacy, cities, and academics. On the contract itself, you guys need to find seven crates of crystalline fiber. You need to find the cause of the pause in delivery. Discovered that. You have the first right to salvage anything beyond those seven crates. You have a default and liability of 5 petty coin, and you will make 5 petty coin on completing this. So that is where you are at with the contract. That being said, as you enter the Starlight Mine, these these miners are putting the ship back together. They are pushing this machinery back into the Volt Galleon, and the suspensor fields at its bottom are humming in a way that you have never seen them hum before. Before it was this nascent thing, and now it is growing in intensity and thrum. I'm going to allow you guys to do something before combat breaks out in earnest. I think that there are people shuffling in behind you shortly. I'm going to say you have probably about a turn to get anything set up that you want to get set up, or try to get yourselves out of this combat, as it were. But it looks like that is what is happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that is some great scene setting. In the small split second we have here, the one turn to act effectively, Grail is going to try to conceal himself, because Grail is a tunneler of about 4 foot tall and change, a skinny fellow, and he looks like a piece of machinery, because he quite literally is. Grail is going to try to sort of like duck out of sight, or at least out of the immediate interest of the more threatening parties.
Okay, absolutely. Give me 1 second, actually. I gotta open up something, which I should have had open before. I apologize. I'm going to probably say that this is a holistics roll, unless you have an argument for another approach.
Yeah, I'd say, well, obfuscate.
Oh, yeah, obfuscate. Absolutely. So, yeah, we will say obfuscate, and that this is I'm going to say that you have a mounting pressure of 3, the people approaching behind, and the bright lit area in front of you. So it's going to be a 3 half roll to hide yourself.
If I could,
Gotcha.
If I could really quick make a request, actually, for our playtesters, if
Yeah.
you could actually use the Roll20 die roller this session. I realize that we actually haven't been getting the data for some of the rolls here, and having that log is actually helpful for us. So if you could use that one this time, that would be great.
Yeah, that is totally fine. So, 3 half rolls of obfuscate. Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
obfuscate. I think skullduggery is probably what you're doing here.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that Grail is good at, it's skullduggery. Cool. So that's going to be 3 d8s for me. Very fortunate. Or not.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's
rough, buddy.
roughy right there.
I imagine what happened is Grail currently has no less than 2 lit cigarettes clenched between his teeth that are making it hard to hide when he looks like fireflies bobbing in the dark.
Yeah, it is like that thing where, like, you know, when you are in the dark and you see like shimmering things through the light, you see smoke like billowing through those like streaks of light. It's exactly that. You hide perfectly well, except for your cigarette smoke billowing into the streams of light that are very, very noticeable in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zarkus, in this whole split second, notices Grail trying to hide and failing. Zarkus is going to try to hide themselves as well, and in trying to hide, Zarkus is going to grab Grail by the waist and just try to obscure him as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is going to be. I don't think this is a joint roll so much as because Grail failed their roll. This is going to add a degree of difficulty to this.
Yeah.
So this is a 4-half roll. Same roll. This is an obfuscate skullduggery, I believe is what we said.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's a 4-half.
Yep, 4-half.
Pray for ones. All right. Hey, we got one more.
Yeah.
Reroll that one, baby.
Come on.
I also realized
Fuck.
I also realized that there is a way to change the red and green and make it explode. Just like I just
There's
didn't
got to
do it.
be. I'm sure there's an API for that.
Yeah, it's not even an API. You can do it like native in Roll20.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
That's
But
alright.
I didn't do it, so I apologize.
So, in other words, Zarkus also failed.
Yes, Zarkus also failed. Zarkus, tell us how you failed.
Yeah, so Zarkus goes to kind of roll into obscurity, and then they notice Grail just fumbling and being an absolute bumbling fool. And no offense, Grail. And they kind of shimmy their way out of the spot that they found and try to grab Grail by the waist and kind of tackle him into obscurity. Just get fucking horizontal, baby. And, yeah.
Incredible. And I think you do. I think you accomplish that very easily. It's just there is a number of things that you are unfamiliar with in this room, and things that appear soft and quiet to jump into aren't necessarily that.
We make a lot of noise, both being made of metal. Also,
Yeah.
like that kind of screeching sound of metal on metal, just
It's like a bell ringing through the room.
exactly.
Yeah, mixed with the crunching of tinfoil, both incredibly pleasant sounds to have in unison.
Yeah.
Let's jump to Freckle.
Yeah, I think Freckle is going to try and stem the tide coming behind them through this door. What's the locking mechanism for this door look like? Is it like a keypad situation? Are we talking about like a lever situation?
I'd say it's definitely a lever situation. This is like a pretty thrown together mechanical mine.
Okay, so it's like a lever and then like the door rises on chains?
Yeah, let's say there's a mechanism in it that like shuts it. So you could definitely try to get that lever locked up in some way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it, and unlike the other two, I'm actually gonna be loud about it.
Yeah.
And address the foreman and say, "This operation ends now," and I slam my sword. I slam Bobble into this mechanism.
Okay, cool. I'll give you an extra die for that. I think that's a clever way to do it. So I will just have a clockwork. Well, I don't even know if it's clockwork. That's ferocity roll. You're slamming your sword into it.
Yeah.
So we will go ferocity. It feels like deduction to me, or repair. Actually, I think it's ferocity repair. You are fucking something up in a mechanical way. And that is actually what that roll was made for. We will call it a half roll because this doesn't take a specialty knowledge to jam something into a thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you have you announced yourself, so we'll take away the pressure of trying to hide from it, but you do have people coming in quick.
Yeah.
So we'll call it a half two. I think that makes sense.
Okay, here we go. What do I got? 7 and a 6.
I said I'd give you an extra die for your sword too.
Yeah, I think. Oh, an extra die for the sword. Okay, cool. Sick. Yeah, that is 2 successes.
Awesome. So yeah, this tell me how it looks when you fucking slam this door shut.
Yeah, I think that it's very much like a record screech moment. Like, operations in this room are going totally normal, and then the foreman and the nectarine captain are having a conversation about oranges, and all of a sudden they hear a voice booming from the other end. It sounds much bigger than it is because this cave echoes the voice, and it makes it sound deeper, like that episode was, or like that scene with Sam in Return of the King. And they look over and they see a very short human who's just sabotaged their only way out of this room. And she turns and stands and locks eyes with the captain. And then she says, "What are you two doing? They can see you. Get out here."
And I think this is how this goes. The captain points at Foreman Gundar, and it is not even a sound that you could hear. It is like the absence of sound coming off of this thing as it opens what you assume is a mouth, and black smoke spills out. And as it does, Foreman Gundar turns to the ship, and it strikes you that though you have removed one way out, there is another as he moves aboard the ship. And then he points at the dazed miners in front of you, and you just hear a hiss through the aether as they direct their gazes to you.
Shit.
You have, and this is how this is going to work for this combat. There are 2 things that you guys need to avoid for this combat. In 1 full turn, that door, which you see behind you, you start to see smoke pouring up from the not from the lock, but from the actual exterior of the door. These miners have mining equipment. They are going to try to get inside using the things in the mine. So the stability of your lock being held in place is going to last 1 turn before they are in. But on 2 full turns, that ship is going to start taking off. So let us do a turn order. Everyone want to flip to the combat section. So have somebody do a traversal roll, and we will do it against these monstrosities.
Yeah, somebody who is not Grail should do a traversal roll.
I have a 2 in traversal.
I also have a 2 in traversal.
Okay, tell you what, I'm resizing a window right now for the chat, so if you could take that, that would be great.
Okay.
Oh, hi, chat.
Word. So remind me again, that would just be rolling a d12 or 2
So
d12?
yeah, you were going to do a traversal roll, and then you were going to pick an approach. That approach is the approach you're going to be stuck in for this first round of combat. So any actions that you do, any defenses you do, will be based on that approach.
That's
so
right.
pick the one you want. Hey Taylor, real quick question for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Traversal, did we throw that under research, social, or physical on the NPC card?
Traversal, I think, would be physical, right? You're actually moving somewhere.
Okay. I just want everyone to know that he picked this, not me. I think it makes the most sense
Okay,
what he's
2
actually doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 2 successes.
Okay. Hey! Hell yeah! Fuck you! Eat shit, Nectarine Man!
Yes.
Nice.
He cries smoke at you.
I think I'm gonna. I'm torn between spoiler. So
I forgot about that.
deduction, or brutality. Two completely different approaches, I know.
I'm definitely going
Um,
Reckoner for the record.
Yeah. I So if you're going Reckoner, then I'll go spoil.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Adam, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, normally Grail's the spoiler, but apparently that has been switched around. He's definitely not a pharaoh. Not
For the
even
record,
close.
you can take something other people have already picked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all
Yeah,
be
it-
Reckoners if we want.
Okay, yeah, reckon
Uh,
that. Yeah, I guess Grail will take spoiler as well because, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to logic our ways out of this.
we're gonna use facts and logic to get out of this. Absolutely.
I hucked a fucking ruler at him. That's
Okay.
logic.
Well, so logic this out, guys. We have 15 combined movement for 2 rounds. That means each of us, if we divide it evenly, can move 10 hexes on here, and we have to get onto that ship before the end of 2 rounds. So if one of you two logic boys wants to get on that puzzle, I don't know how we do that.
Yeah. So our goal here collectively is to get on the ship before it leaves.
I mean,
Is to stop it from leaving, essentially.
yeah, if we can stop it from
Yeah.
leaving, that's better.
I mean, you don't technically have to, but like,
Yeah.
we're on contract for these crates. I don't give a fuck where the ship goes.
Yeah, I'm Grail might deduce or assume that taking out the tangerine captain would probably prevent the ship from moving.
Okay. Oh, well, the tangerine captain is on the ship, though, right?
boy, I love how much it's changed. Nectarine, tangerine.
This pomegranate man is already on the ship, I believe.
Yeah. Anyway, the papaya is taking off.
The papaya is still in front of you. He sent Foreman Gundar towards the
Gundar
ship.
is on the ship. Okay.
So we've got to take Gundar out in that case.
Okay.
If Gundar is the one who's nominally ambulating to the ship in order to take it off. In this case, if we're kind of parsing out actions here, Grail would probably do what Grail is prepared to do, which is pull out his marksman rifle and try to kneecap, if not skullcap, the foreman before he gets too close.
Can I make a corollary suggestion? Zarkus, he's going to need cover while he does that, and if you guys don't move, I can move 15 hexes and get right up in Gundar's space, like, now.
I think yes. I think Zarkus from they and Grail's little fumble earlier isn't gonna move a whole lot. Is because the way I envisioned it is Zarkus kind of ended up on top of Grail in a kind of Three Stooges-esque skit, and I think that is it. Like I think Zarkus is gonna stay shielding Grail in that kind of way. Also reaching for their own assault rifle.
You guys chose deduction. Do you want to do any deducing before you just start blasting, or?
So, anyways, let's start blasting.
I think Grail's main point of deduction is just basically trying to calculate, almost like lead the target, sort of like.
Okay, yeah. I think that is totally fine. So you are trying, and again, you guys can move and take shots however you want to do it. Like, you guys can, so whoever wants to go first, you can have Taylor get right up in the face of, you could have,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do I go for the captain or do I just go straight for the foreman?
Girl, why don't you give me a deduction, whatever approach you're using, roll right now.
Would this be a deduction? Is it clockwork or obfuscate? Because I'm trying to still be sneaky, or clockwork because it's a matter of mechanics.
In combat, you pick whatever you want for an approach, and you are stuck in that approach until the next round begins. So, if you are getting attacked, you will use that same approach for defense. So, just something to keep in mind.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You know what, Taylor? You're the one who's trying to decide who you want to go for, right?
Yeah, correct.
Freckle, give me a deduction roll with whatever approach you are in.
Cool. Is it half or best?
We will call this. I think this is. Ooh, it's half. This is an intuition thing.
Okay, cool. That is a success.
Okay. With a success, Taylor, as far as targets go, you know that the Doctorine Captain is a dangerous character who is controlling the people in this room. You also know that whatever Gundar is holding, that mask in his hand, seems to be having an effect on him. It has black lines running up his arms. So,
sick.
If it is potential that they are both that they can both control the people in this room. It is, something to consider. Is it's definitely like there is some sort of infection.
If that's the case, infection from two sources is what you said. The one from the captain and another one potentially from the mask that the foreman has.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since the foreman is the one being sent into the ship, I'm actually going to slide past this guy. And I am going to tell him just not another step and take a swing specifically at the mask, trying to crack it open with Bobble.
Okay, cool. So I think that this is, first off, I'm going to throw a D12 because you're threatening them. That was words of threat. And this is going to be an attack roll, my man.
Okay.
So
if Bobble is medium imbued, that means it's a +2?
Either a +2 or as a tag.
Or it has a tag. Okay, well, Bobble is cursed, so it has a tag. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
right. I think, weirdly enough, and tell me if you think that this works for you.
Yep.
This feels like a repair roll to me in the same way that the other one felt like a repair roll. You are trying to, fuck up the item that is, in the same way that lock was holding the door open, you are trying to fuck up this item in this dude's hand that is got him on lock.
I would counter with that.
Yeah.
It is definitely a brutality roll because I am trying to hurt him. However, it's a brutality roll with a clockwork approach because it's a calculated strike on a specific high-value target.
All right. I mean, I'd say you're not actually trying to fuck him up. You're trying to fuck the mask up.
No, Freckle's trying to fuck him up for sure. If she can't hit the mask, she's trying to disable him.
Is the goal to hit the mask?
Yes. But
Okay.
the extraneous damage is not of concern.
Yeah. But the end goal is the mask. That is like the primary objective.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you if you're going to be stuck in clockwork the whole time. I think that works too.
Okay, cool.
So.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and make that shot. That is 3 successes, 1 explosive, 3 successes.
Okay. You got how many successes?
That is 3 successes.
Okay, cool. I think this is... Oh boy, this is the first time you guys have encountered one of these. So...
Yeah.
It's always fun when your DM does that.
Yeah.
Hey, you did it!
Holy shit.
God damn.
Woo!
Nice, going Freckle.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, so Freckle, your goal is to fuck up this mask, essentially, yeah?
Absolutely, yes.
I think that you do. So I think the mask goes flying and cracks. As it does, that wispy black smoke that you see coming off of this nectarine, I almost said nectarine, just like starts to pour out of it. And it looks at you as it happens, and Gunnar like jumps over to it, like clawing at the ground around it, trying to get towards it. This thing's mouth, I mean, it opens, I guess, in the same way. It is like a tear in reality, and there is just static screaming at you through it and through the veil of what you see as it hisses. But you did your thing, and I think that that has solved that problem.
I shout across the mine back to Grail. It's done. Shoot the pomegranate man.
And I guess that's my cue to go, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just for the sake of, like, obfuscate would make sense, but I think clockwork as an approach kind of is the one you're going for if you're trying to basically hit a trick shot or like an aim shot, I'm guessing. Cool, so looking like Spider Jerusalem with smoke coming out of his nostrils and a cigarette clenched in his teeth, Grail just aims on the sights of his marksman rifle, and it is a +3 for reference.
Take 1,000 extra
For the Spider Jerusalem reference, yes.
It pleases me.
Take 1+. I'd like to add to this by shouting, "It's the masks! Target the masks!" across the mine.
Cool. Okay.
Oof. Oh dear God.
So here, and again, like, does that add an additional die because you kind of gave me a warning there, or I'm trying to think, because that is statistically unfortunate.
It's an additional. It's an additional die because I gave you just additional information that helped guide your actions. Wow, though.
In which case, that does get, actually bumps up to 5 die, because my deduction's a 3, plus with the name of the roll is spoiler, so I get 2 more rolls.
You may want to roll both of them at the same time. Don't worry about it.
No. Oh.
Does he just hit me then?
Right.
Just odds on this.
He
odds on that.
He somehow hits me.
Here's what it is, Grail. You are trying to deduce the stem of reality around this thing. Find the accurate shot and take it. And as it screams at Freckle in this unheard sound, in this fabric of reality, it ripples around it. And it begins to quantum shift in place where it is. So your shot goes wide and then next to it and then again right through it as it turns around and stares at you, billowing smoke out of it.
That's unfortunate. I've really pissed off the mango.
Bass, if you need it, I
Yeah.
think you have 1 or 2 extra square hexes of movement. I don't know if you want it or not, but it's there.
Yeah, so I Okay. I think what I am gonna do, I'm gonna aim my assault rifle at the Nocturne captain is wearing a mask also, correct?
Yes. I should also state, like, I don't think we have this explicitly stated in the rules, but I think if you're doing like survey rolls, try to like figure something out, I don't know if that would count as an actual action. So just because you guys chose deduction, I don't want to like
Yeah.
rob you from those sorts of options.
Sure.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that you have those things available to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I am going to aim my assault rifle
Sure.
right at the mask of the Tangerine Man.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, this is a deduction roll.
Yeah. That would be deduction probably Adam, remind me again which approach you took, because we're doing very similar things here.
Yeah, because the approach I took was clockwork deduction.
Yeah.
Which I thought was reasonable, especially when I had 5 die to roll. But apparently, Grail is the victim of a cosmic joke.
Yeah. So Zarkis. So yeah, that would I'll do clockwork deduction for mine then. So that would be 2 because I'm getting an extra deduction roll from spoiler.
I'll actually give you too that you saw Grail take a shot at this thing and it shift around in the fabric of reality, so like you can kind of anticipate that it will do the same thing. So you'll get an extra for that too. This is a knowledge-based game.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3d12, and I am like I'm aiming at the head of the Tangerine Man, and
Of course.
any damage, any damaging the mask is ideal. Any damage to the Nocturne Captain is not of any concern to Zarkis. So I just go in with that knowledge.
Okay.
That is 1 success.
One success. So he is going to roll. I have him stuck in holistics right now, right? No, actually, that was the other man. Oh, wait, no, he did the... no, he is stuck in holistics. Oh. Which, by the way, isn't his best, so... However...
Not a good start.
It's not a great start. I'll give you that. He takes 2 successes, and he begins to move. And as he does, like he phases out, and your bullet goes right through him as he comes back. And now that rapier is at his side and is crackling with electricity. And it is their turn now.
Fuck me up, fam.
Oh yeah, dog. Yeah. Ooh, boy, Taylor, you're not in a great spot. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm doing great.
Hey guys, I love it here. Oh boy, Taylor.
No,
Okay.
I'm serious. Fuck me up. Like, let's go.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Yeah.
Rip.
So he is going to take an attack against you,
Okay.
the Nocturne Captain.
Okay.
I'm going to use his real name because
Trevor.
I'm shifting because this is the start of their turn to a new approach, which I'm shifting to ferocity, and I'm going to attack you with a sword. And I'm also going to spend Pt1 on this sword to do a thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Taylor.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 successes. And as he brings this cutlass over to you, the whole of it just erupts with electricity, blinding light. It is a flashing sword.
Is it a like an electric sword flashing?
It is like a blinding sword flashing.
Blinding. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So we are doing shootouts, right?
Yeah, so you get to roll your defense.
Okay, cool. So it's a clockwork and
approach.
Yeah, it's clockwork was the approach I was in, and then just hardiness.
Yep.
Yeah.
You gotta beat 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm gonna use one of our die. One of the caravan die. Come on. Nope, that is no successes.
Okay, so Taylor, a couple things. You are first going to you're going to reduce your current approach die to the next largest die type. So whatever that approach is goes, goes in the bad way.
That's it. That's if I keep it the same, right?
No, you're blinded on that. I mean, that approach is blinded.
Okay. I see. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
They also got additional successes. I am going to spend those additional successes. So I do 1 harm just on a hit. That's 1, and I have 3 additional successes. I'm going to spend 2 harm to bring you to 3.
Okay, cool. And is this going to be a different wound from the blinded, or is the blinded the wound?
I think it makes sense that blinded is the wound. We're going to take it to level 2. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's already all the way. It's already all the way down as it is. So neat.
Oh well, then it doesn't feel like I should take blinded as. Then it will spill over to the next approach. I think makes the most sense.
Whatever the next one I choose is.
Yeah, just reduce the next approach you choose by 1.
Okay, cool.
I am going to spend that other success because he had 4 to he clutches his fist, and you see Foreman Gundar stand up and drop, now dazed, no longer in control like he was. He is more like he's going to be less of a figure than he would be initially. Okay. But he is, he is up and in a fight. I am going to use, let's see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh boy, they got a lot of movement. So I am going to 1, 2, but I'm going to break it up into groups. So 1, 2, so they have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get you on board. He turns and flaps his cloak in a very dramatic fashion, and grabs that mask on his way for 5, and then Foreman Gundar is going to take a shot at you with his weapon, Taylor. I'm sorry, man. You were right there.
I'm right there. It makes sense. I knew I was getting into it.
I am going to reduce everything that he rolls because he is no longer in his senses. Actually, I should probably just use the Dazed Minor stat block. just give him the weapon. So I'm going to roll. Ferocity roll D10. Oh boy, like that it is quite a few still.
Hey, let's go.
Those are all. Oh boy.
I'm gonna use our other caravan die to try and bolster a couple of defenses here. Oh
Good
my
move.
god! Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. What am I? What's
Wow.
the damage?
Okay. So
3?
I mean,
Is it another 3?
I think I'm going to take you to another wound.
Yeah, you are. All right. Cool.
Yeah. And I am going to give you the broken wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I will paste into chat.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Because I feel like that's the most advantageous thing that they can do. Yeah, he clips you right in the knee. He is rolling with reduced shit, so he will go down just like everyone else now.
Yeah.
But he does still have a hand cannon that does some damage.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of these guys are going to. They only have 5 movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It is now your guys' turn. The lock on that door just falls out, and you just see red hot iron pouring steam as the door pushes down, and there is a number of dazed miners behind that door. So that is their entrance, basically. They're not doing anything, obviously, but round 1 is done. Round 2 begins, gentlemen.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Grail would probably continue, frustrated at his failure last time, would probably try to fire at the high priority target again.
Yeah.
Aiming for the pineapple captain. In this
They're
instance.
pretty far away right now, so bear in mind that distance is going to come into play here on your rolls.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, do I have a clean shot there or not?
So we will just use the long range tag, which long range is beyond 8 hexes. You're gonna need an additional 2 successes to hit.
Okay.
You can move closer though.
Gotcha. Can that be reconciled by me taking 2 less rolls?
Instead of needing 2 successes, taking 2 die off.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. In which case, that brings me down to, I think, from 4 to 2.
It's still based off their defense, remember?
Oh, yes. Correct.
Yeah. Damn. Hey.
Doesn't explode, but at least I get 1 under a relatively low threshold, so...
Who are you trying to hit?
I'm trying to hit the avocado captain.
Okay. Just remember, if you're staying in clockwork, that reduce. Oh, actually, you already had a D12, so it doesn't matter. So you're trying to hit the avocado man.
Yep.
You poisoned me. I thought I came up with these cool enemies.
Yeah, if there's something I've learned as a DM, it's never underestimate the ability of your players to shitpost in real time.
Never underestimate the ability
absolutely.
of your players to turn into middle school children at the earliest possible opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad about it, so Roll20 gave you the option to put gifts in chat, and I was like, well, that's us. That's something. Ooh.
Holy shit.
Oh, this is horrendous. Okay.
I'm sensing a TPK.
I think this may end up. We'll see.
He succeeds.
Yeah. To say the least.
Your shots. I mean, you're fine. You're trying to take these shots on him, and it's that nervousness. Like things are not going your way. It's one shot, two shot, and they're just ting, ting, ting off the side of this Volt Galleon, which is gaining momentum. The thrum of this thing picking up. And those shots go wide. Our other two boys, or do you want to move? Do you want to how do you guys want to do this?
Yeah, you guys can take as much movement as you want here. I'm limited to 2 hexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we just trying to get the hell out? Like, is this imminent danger or like?
I mean, I would say yes, it's imminent danger. Where, our 2 options to get out of here are either on that ship, or going back the way we came, which is filled with dangerous. The horde of miners.
Yeah.
Give me a. I'll tell you what. Give me a deduction roll. Whatever approach you are in right now.
Okay. Yeah. In which case, Grail's gonna clockwork deduction here. Not using physical die again.
Yeah.
And Grail is probably, for all his conspiratorial thinking, a relatively rational individual. Is probably thinking our best route out is going to the ship. I only roll 1 under D6. I roll a 4, 12, 10, and 6.
So.
Oh, but the 6 counts though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 successes.
Yeah. So, Grail, I'll give you this just from your survey of the situation. They did not get all of the equipment they needed into this thing, and they are running, they are powering this off of the machines around you. You might not be able to stop it from taking off that way. Maybe you could. You don't know. That would probably take a best roll to figure out, but you could at least fuck up these machines enough to slow them down.
Okay. Yeah. Grail is probably going to, in this case, take an effort to try to fire at the critical sensitive areas of the machinery, considering he has failed at firing at human beings.
Unfortunately, you have used your action though, but you can reiterate that information to your party.
Yeah, I relay that to my compatriots.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I know what I want to do. Boss, do you want to go first or?
So Zarkis right now is thinking. Yeah, they see the dazed miners start to come in. They realize that they kind of failed at shooting the Tangerine Man, and so they see these dazed miners coming in. They see this guy specifically. They ready their rifle and they aim between the eyes.
Okay, yeah, take the shot.
So that would be just.
I think that is a clockwork roll still. And whatever approach you're in, just bear in mind that if you were staying in the same approach that you were in last turn, that approach degrades. So if it was a D10, it becomes a D12. If it was a D6, it becomes a D8. That kind of thing.
It's already at D12, so
no problem then.
Probably deduction again because
Sure.
they're trying, All right, so I do not hit.
Okay. You do not hit. Notably, you guys still have 15 movement. Keep that in mind. Taylor can only take 2.
That's right. Okay, so I think Zarkis is gonna start. Zarkis is gonna say their goodbyes to Grail and start moving in.
Mm-hmm.
if nothing else, to give they saw from the back lines how bad Freckle just got
Freckle just got
fucking creamed. Like Freckle is blind. They have bones sticking out of their knee. Like Zarkus is like, okay, I'm gonna go. Why? Okay, I'm gonna go. So.
Oh boy, I'm an idiot. I almost said Indiana Jones when nature calls, and I was like, oh!
If that's not the name of Indiana Jones 5, then I'm not fucking interested.
Right, so
Jesus.
yeah.
I always mix those two up.
They're so similar. Yeah, where are you guys moving on the map?
Yeah.
Zarkus is going to move. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zarkus is gonna move right there.
Cool.
And Grail, are you moving? Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm following right on Zarkus's trail here.
Okay.
How do I get a hold of my token? There we go, thank you.
I can move all of them.
You just sounded like fucking what's his face in the Venture Brothers, their neighbor there. Why am I blanking on his name? Orpheus.
Orpheus.
Yeah.
So the Mandarin man, he turns away from me and starts walking up to the ship. And as he does, he hears the cracking of bone and the scraping of steel and turns around to see Freckle fucking standing on one leg, the other just fucking hanging. And they say to him, I'm gonna use your mask as a fucking splint after I pry it off your face.
Freckle, your sword starts to vibrate with excitement as you say this.
I'm
gonna go ahead and roll a d12 on there too.
I point the sword at him and I say, "That's a nice rapier. You should meet mine." And I throw Bobble at him because I can't get close enough for a melee.
You can take two moves. I mean, you can take two, right?
I can take two, but that still doesn't put me in range of a melee for him, I think.
No, it probably doesn't. I think that this is, I mean, change your approach to whatever you want your approach to be.
I think ferocity is the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
And given what I know about his rolling ability right now, anybody have a problem? Anybody have a problem with me using both of our caravan die for this?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, go all out, bud.
Cool. So roll, that is 6d12. Come on.
Damn, dude.
Yeah! 1, 2, 3, 4! Ha ha ha!
He is going to roll. Now, you need 2 additional success, or 1 additional success required. So you need to beat him by 1 here because of the range.
Yeah. I'm in range 0, aren't I? I'm in short range.
Range 0 is right next to.
Oh, if it's 2, it's medium?
Yeah. If your short range is adjacent hex.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. The intent of that is to be like hand in, what do you call it? Monster of the Week or any of those games.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Roll. So, you're just going to beat him by 1. You do have a lot more dice than he does, so...
Here's hope.
So he's going to roll.
My fingers are crossed for you, Freckle.
Come on, because if I don't, he's going to kill me next turn.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'll say this much: he doesn't. You're not his favorite person.
I don't feel. I know that I am intimidating. I don't feel like he's intimidated by me.
No. I don't know if he does intimidation so much. Like,
Yeah. I did kick his ass though, which is cool.
yeah, he's just kind of like a terror in reality, so it's tough to like threaten him.
It's hard to give a yawn in existence. The shivers, the tremors.
It's tough to strike fear within fear itself, I guess.
That's right.
I also love how you did a bit of a Crocodile Dundee there about you think that's a knife.
Can I go back and change my line?
Yeah.
Now it's canon. This is now a Crocodile Dundee tribute stream. There's no.
It's while it's in the air, your fucking sword says Bobble says it. That's not a knife. Actually, let me get the Bobble voice. That's not a knife. I'm a knife. You succeeded by how many?
I think by 3. He got
3,
1,
I think.
and I got 4.
Okay, cool. Yeah, dog. Cool. Tell me how you kill this man.
Are you serious?
Well, it is 1 to hit, right?
Yeah.
And then you got 3 additional successes, right?
Yeah, I just assumed he had more. I assumed he had more boxes.
He is a mid-level character, meaning that you can take him to. It takes 4 to bring him to. Oh wait, hold on, Taylor. You need to beat him by 1, so you need 2 to get 1 damage off on him, right?
Yeah.
And you rolled 4.
Yeah.
So, 1 damage, and then you have 2 extra to spend. Is that right? Yeah. So actually, he is still up. He is still up.
Still up. Okay. No. That's fine. I was surprised when I got him.
I forgot about the range.
Yeah.
Your fucking sword. I mean, tell me what happens, because it is fucking rad.
I think that it hits him fucking center mass and sinks into him, and like it stops from the general inertia, but I think that Bobble starts like creeping further into him just on its own. And it's just this constant, if he was, a mortal being of the material plane, it would just be like a constant scraping of steel against organ and flesh.
Yeah. It's fucking gnarly and gross. Unfortunately, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's their turn.
It is their turn.
Oh, no. Wait, I changed my mind.
1, 2,
Travel back about 10 minutes.
3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12, 13, 14, 15. Cool. So those guys are aboard. I'm going to have these miners roll and attack you. 2 are going to attack Grail, and 1 is going to attack you, Zarkus. So they are going to use. Roll 4d10 on you, Grail. That's 2 attacks. So 2 of 2d10, basically. Both got 1 success. 1 gets to re-roll 1. So they both got 1 success, and then Zarkus, 1 success. Both of you roll defenses, please.
Yes. Okay. And I should have the combat rules open up here. And to roll a defense, it's basically your approach in return.
Yeah.
Okay.
and then hardiness.
Hardiness plus approach.
It's hardiness generally. If you can think of a
Yeah.
more apt skill that applies to what you're doing for the defense, then that also can work.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. Would obfuscate work if I'm essentially just trying to dodge?
Sure. Yeah, I think that works fun.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Skullduggery, you mean?
what's that?
Skullduggery, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to want to roll 2 defenses for me as you dodge for both of these hits. And Zarkus, give me a defensive roll as well. Both successes.
Alright. Yeah, I will.
That one explodes at him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll that one again. Cool.
Fuck.
Damn, Adam.
It explodes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I did not succeed.
Yeah, Holden, one of these miners, it, brings up this, whirring saw and just jams it into your shoulder, and it's fighting against the metal that joins your shoulder to your your chest carapace. It's just before the blade flies off and you take 1 note of damage. Adam, describe to me how you dodge both of these hits, Matrix Man.
And again, they are sort of are these remember these are physical melee hits, or are they sort of?
Yeah, they're using tools as well.
Okay, yeah, you could probably imagine Grail doing this again. Grail is a tunneler, and he's a little wiry guy made of machine parts. And normally he's not super physically active, but he almost for lack of a better way of putting it, pop and locks his way out of range. Almost part of him bends at an unnatural angle to kind of in a very quick mechanical way. You know how normal human physiology means you have to dodge, you have to sort of go back like that. Blair physically bends at a 90-degree angle from the waist, and then then when the next person comes in to swing, he quickly sort of flips on a total 180. So his almost his waist or his torso is as they try to hack at him with pickaxes or whatnot.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you fucking dodge him. So you got how many additional successes?
2.
Do you?
One exploded, yeah. So I got an additional success above the other successes.
Okay, cool. Do you want me to spend that for you in an interesting way?
Grail's gonna counterattack.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, do it.
Yeah. Okay, and in which case that is that a full round or just a full counterattack using my approach?
Yeah. Just throw an attack out there.
Yeah, I think it would have to be the
Okay,
same approach he used.
Yeah, it would be whatever approach you're stuck in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So in this case, it would be obfuscate because that's what, or skullduggery because that's what I used to dodge.
Yeah.
All right. Skullduggery it is. Looks like 1 success, possibly.
1 success. Okay. Roll. I think this is 2d10. They do not succeed. That guy goes down immediately. Boom. Roll 5d10. Grail, you're going to want to roll another defense there, my man, as a shot fires off from the ship at you.
All right.
You need to beat 4. And then, Zarkus, I need you to... Carefully. Physical skill. Actually, probably research. We will take a D8.
I think I fuck up. I get hit twice over.
Okay, cool. Zarkus, I'm going to need you to roll another defense. You just got to beat 1. Okay, you are going to get hit 1. You take both of them, right? So you're going to take yourself up to a wound, my man. And I'm going to pick your wound as...
Being way too cool.
Well, you get hit with the fucking pretty gnarly hand cannon. I'm gonna give you the bleeding
Ooh,
tag.
fuck. All right.
What wound would I have received earlier, by the way, when the guy jammed the chainsaw into my shoulder?
You only took a 1 wound node. I don't think you had a full wound on that, unless you had 2 nodes already taken up. Yeah. So you're good. You're good.
Yeah. All right, word.
Did you roll your defense?
I did. Yeah, I got a success.
All right, cool. Yeah, you managed to. A cannon goes off on the side of this ship, and you're able to sidestep a cannonball that goes by you and lands into the dirt. Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see bleeding?
Yeah, let me check this right here. Suffered additional damage nodes. Gotcha. So I'm basically leaking leaking brake fluid.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm actually imagining what happened is like Grail got nicked in the neck and it hit like maybe the tunneler equivalent of the carotid, and he's just sort of like, but not even noticing it or like realizing it. He's just like sitting there just with like brake fluid casually like spurting out of his neck. Anyway.
Okay. Here is what is going on, guys. The second turn has gone off, and 4 of them are aboard the ship. None of the power sources have been reduced in any way. This ship's taken off.
Yeah.
You hear just a moaning in the mountain as it creaks free. Glass shatters around it. And the ship... And Grail, it is a screaming in your head now as the Volt Galleon comes to life, that nascent blue energy turning bright yellow electric, and it lifts off of the ground, and all of these ropes and ties and chains and modules start to lift off of the ground. Here is the option I am going to give you guys. There are a number of things coming off of this ground that are leading up to this ship. You can get on this ship. You are going to be suspended in air and have to climb up to get there. So it's going to be some high-flying acrobatics if you want to try to do that. Option number 2 is you can try to get back to Steve the Eviscerator, try to call him, however you want to do it, and chase this thing down if you want to. But there are a number of creatures coming out of the mine. But that is what's going on. If you want to hang on and try to get onto the ship, I'm going to need you to say so now.
I'm going to be honest. This is a one-shot. Let's fucking go, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. So we're going to get out of combat for the time being, as the glass that was holding this thing in clears. That chasm breaks and it lifts. And for the first time in nigh on 30 years, a Nocturne Volt Galleon in the midst of a sandstorm is crackling with electricity. In its wake, there is strands of glass, and they are getting beat off by this electric pulsing thrumming. And it is like a demon in the skies. That black smoke you saw on the Nocturne before, spilling out of it onto the town of Starlight Mines below. And the Nocturne are back and alive in this area. It is screaming and calling for its brethren in the night sky. But as it does, the clamps and power modules that were powering this thing swing by you, and give me some rolls to grab on.
Okay. I feel like adaptation makes sense. I'm rolling with the punches here, and it's either like hardiness or
I think adapt hardiness would be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you guys choose because I think that like it's just gonna color how you do it.
Now you know what?
Yeah.
I'm still blind with rage. This is a brutality roll. It's adaptation
Hell yeah.
brutality.
Yeah.
Damn right it is.
Despite the fact that he's bleeding from an open wound, Grail has got back into operator mode and thinks he's being all sneaky. And actually, Grail's intention is to, considering he's a tunneler, clamp onto the side of the ship and try to camouflage himself with the ship. So it looks like he's like just a part of the mechanics or the machinery. In which case, that's going to be Grail going obfuscate traversal, I guess?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, which gives me here goes nothing.
I got 4 successes, by the way.
Oh my god! How do I get the worst rolls of this entire playtest during the the critical the critical climax of this entire event? Like, what if I'm doing stupid? Like, I don't know, like, oh, you come across a dog on the road. Can you do an appraisal to see if it wants to be pet? Like, oh, it's a success. You're exploding. The dog really wants to be pet. But now that we're doing this shit, it's like, yeah, you're in a life or death situation. The fate of the universe hangs in balance. You shit yourself and die. Anyway.
Well, it's not quite like that. We're gonna.
You're just gonna shit yourself. You're not gonna die.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're. We're gonna start. I think I'm gonna start. Have you ever played Blades in the Dark?
No, does it involve failing a lot and also dying?
Yeah, essentially that. Here's the thing: you're definitely gonna take damage for this, which for you isn't great right now. So go ahead and take 2 wound nodes instead of 1 because you're bleeding.
Okay, yeah. So I have 3 wounds.
Oh shit! I still need to roll.
Taylor, yes, Zarkus, please give me a roll. Taylor, you used
brutality adaptation.
No, I'm sorry. You used the 2 dice that were on the board, right?
I think so. I think I used it when I threw a bobble at the guy. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just bringing you guys aboard so I can throw you off.
Hey, I got on my own. I got 4 successes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I got 1 success.
Okay, cool. So we're going to start a clock, basically. It's basically a skill test. They are going to do things that can move this clock back, and you are going to do things that can move this clock forward or back. You both succeeded. If you want to spend all of your points on it, that's 5. It's going to be an 8-point clock, basically. You need to bring it back to 8 in order to succeed and get on board. That being said, Adams is going to bring it to 4, so you guys are halfway. And now hanging below. So anything you want to do to try to climb up, just let me know and we will work it out. But they're going to do stuff too. If you reach 1, well, you are going to shit your pants and die.
Okay, yeah.
Never mind.
I'm 4 wounds at this point. The lethal threshold is, you said.
Oh shit! You have 4 wounds?
No,
well,
you have 4 boxes checked.
Yeah.
That's a wound. That's a wound node. When you have all 12 boxes checked, that's 4 wounds.
You'll die.
All 12.
Notable for you right now. Whenever you take a wound node, it's actually 2.
Yeah, because of the bleeding. Yeah, because of the blood.
Because of the blood.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, Zarkus? You succeeded and you rolled with obfuscate. What was it?
I rolled adaptation hardiness.
Okay, adaptation hardiness. Zarkus, one of these module wires wraps around your ankle, and you come up and just get pulled by your ankle up into the sky. Differently, my man Freckle grabs one of these things as it's coming by him. This chain has grown by, and he grabs on board, pulls himself up as he's getting dragged by the ankles and skates up and then just begins climbing. As you do, you see Grail just get fucking pummeled by one of these machines, hit and knocked over, and you're able to grab his hand and pull him up with you to the chains. Grail, you do take the damage.
Oh, hey, you okay, buddy? You good?
Grail is like, Grail still has 2 cigarettes in his teeth, just takes a huge drag and flares out his nose like a dragon. Never been better.
Okay, that's good, because I'm kind of on a rage thing right now, so I'm going to put you on this rope here, and I'm climbing, like...
It happens to be the rope that wrapped around Zarkus's ankle and is currently dangling down like a thread.
Yeah, absolutely. So
That is better, though, than taking Grail and using Grail as a weapon.
The cigarettes are like a blunt head kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you are about to inflict grievous harm with a body.
I'll allow it.
All right, so how do we move this? How do we move this clock?
By doing things to get yourselves up. So if you want to climb up, that kind of thing, just let me know how you want to do your high wire acrobatics, and I will let you know what you need to roll. Additionally, they're going to be fucking with you and trying to do things to set this clock back.
Yeah, I want to I want to use the inertia of these swinging ropes to make it where I don't have to climb up. I want to like treat it almost like a swing and lean into the forward motion to the point where it just arcs around and like I land on the deck.
That's definitely a best roll, right? Like you're using like expertise to do that. I will say, Taylor, I think that they are starting to unwind some of these ropes, so it's going to be a best 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And
remember, failures set your clock back.
Adaptation traversal?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay, cool. 1 success. Oh no, 0 successes. It's a best roll.
0 successes. Yeah.
Okay.
Your clock goes back. As you're like making good progress before these ropes start slipping away and falling beneath you, and you have to swing back and grab onto a previous chain.
Yeah.
How does anyone else want to approach this?
So, Zarkus, who's still hanging on by their ankle at this point, tries to a similar thing to what Freckle was doing, kind of lean into the forward motion and kind of hoist themselves into an upright position instead of upside down like they are right now.
Yeah.
So they are going to try to swing and grab onto a rope or like one of the, I guess, scales of the ship. Just try to kind of maneuver their way up onto the ship proper.
Cool. Yeah, I think that is probably. I mean, it's not a best roll. It's just like doing a climbing. Let's call that holistics traversal.
Holistics traversal.
Yep.
And it's a half, not a best.
Half, not a best. Correct.
Okay, so that's 1 success.
1 success.
Yep.
All right. Cool. You hear things power on above you, and that's all I'll give you on that. And how do you want to approach this, Adam?
I think at this point in time, I'm just trying to just hang on. Again, like, wounds don't really, like, at least at this stage, don't, like, impede my movement or ability to function.
It depends on if you take on a condition, basically. Like Taylor has a condition that prevents him from moving more than 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'm just going to cling on for dear life.
Well, yeah. This is hardiness. It's definitely hardiness.
Holistics, maybe?
I think it's clock. I actually think it's like clockwork. You're like bolstering yourself. Yeah.
All right. One step
Grail
forward
plummet.
and 2 steps back.
Oh no.
So we're at a 3, if I'm counting right?
Yes.
Cool. And now it's their turn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not actually doing this in turns necessarily, as I'm setting up movements based on like actions you guys take, because we're not like in a combat. So just let me know how you want to approach this.
Yeah, I think after the original thing fails, I'm just going with a straightforward, just climb the rope I'm on, stop trying to do anything fancy, just focus on getting up this rope. And so that is... Am I still blinded, or does that condition only last 1 round?
No, I mean, you're still blinded on those 2 approaches that you had.
Cool. If that's the case, so then clockwork is a D12. And... yeah, traversal. 1 success.
Okay, 1 success, cool. As that happens, you see a chain drop, and you see this like skimmer bike drop down and swing by you. It's going to take an attack on you. You see one of those dazed miners riding this thing in the sky. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I came up with a cool thing. That's right.
If somebody doesn't try to jump on this speeder bike, just to be clear, I'm going to do that next round. So bye, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Make your intentions known.
Yep.
So this thing is going to take... yeah. Roll 2d10. That's not how you do these rolls. Cool. I think that this is how I'm doing this is not setting it up as an attack so much as making things more difficult for you guys. So these are mounting pressures that I'm going to throw onto rolls.
Yeah.
So just bear in mind, there's a man with a speeder firing on you and making it difficult for anything you want to do. But let me know what you want to do.
Yeah. So Zarkipu is just gonna keep climbing up the side of the ship.
Yep, this is 2 successes you're going to need on this one because there is a crazed man on a bike.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing's like covered in chains. It's got like a boarding harpoon on it. And it's also not like set up to fly. It's supposed to skim, but it's like adhered to the chains on the ship right now and swinging around.
Yeah. Could I make an argument to roll adaptation traversal because now Zarkus is trying to go around this this obstacle. So that's 2d10.
I'll allow it.
2 successes.
2 successes, baby.
5, and 5.
So you needed 2 successes to succeed. This brings this up to a 5, baby. You just need 3 more, boys.
All you, Adam.
All right. Grail is gonna try to shimmy up.
Yeah.
From this position he's at, while remaining again as unseen as possible. Not an easy task considering, like, well, how I've rolled the rest of this session.
I think that's obfuscation skullduggery. You're doing like a B&E move.
Yeah, I would guess as much. All right, so. Well, what?
I've never.
Good God.
I've never heard such a noise of defeat out of anybody.
Grail into the wind. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, boys. Unfortunately, That is not good. Taylor, you want to do something?
I have an idea. I do need some information on this ship.
Yeah.
The propulsor engines that are powering this thing, are they visible?
The engines themselves, probably not, but you see the propulsion system itself are like these flat panels that are like radiating electricity and shooting electricity off.
I am gonna whisper to Bobble, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, buddy, we're in kind of a spot here, and I'm gonna need a favor, but it means you're gonna get to kill a lot of people."
Do what needs to be done, Freckle. Do what you've taken me up for.
Yeah, I take the sword, and I'm just adding this in because I feel like it's good narrative flavor for a cursed, bloodthirsty thing. I cut my hand with it.
Dope.
Yeah, I smear my blood along the side of the blade, and I point it at the propulsor, and I just chuck it as hard as I can.
Hell yeah. Roll me an attack, man. Brutality, ferocity, I guess. Actually, I don't know. Like, you tell me what you think makes sense here.
It's either it's brutality, it's either ferocity or adaptation. Truth is, it doesn't make a ton of difference for me mechanically.
Would it maybe
adaptation?
Would it maybe fall under clockwork because you're trying to fuck with the mechanics?
That's a good point, actually.
Unfortunately, Blinded also took my clockwork down to a D12, so that is also the same mechanic. I appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
I don't get any pluses to this for anything, right? I mean, I'm not technically being threatening.
No, you're not being threatening. I think it's a particularly clever move.
Okay.
Which I think counts for something. I'll give you an extra die for that.
Okay, cool. Then that is 5d12. Pray it goes good, boys. Because if it doesn't, I think we're gone.
Well, here, I don't know.
You have a success and
I got
explode. Fuck.
So here's the thing. Yeah, 2 successes is good. I think it does succeed. And I think it's going to lower the clock to a 6. And I think it'll keep you at a 5, so you just need one more action to get on board the ship. I do think there are unintended consequences.
Okay.
I love unintended consequences.
Yeah, by all means, hit me with it.
My favorite.
Well, it's crashing.
Yeah. That was kind of the idea, is instead of us going to the ship, why not bring the ship to us? You know?
Well, you're on the ship.
We're below the ship, so we're bringing the ship lower.
Which isn't really where you want to be when a galleon is crashing below it.
It's going to be great.
Just wanted to make sure that was the intent. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We'll stick to the bottom of his boot. That way he'll spend so much time trying to kill us, we'll kill him with his own hubris.
Steve the Eviscerator doesn't have remote activation, does he? I forget what our caravan...
I can check.
He's a Tesla truck. I could imagine that.
He does not.
He doesn't. Okay.
Damn.
I was about to say that would have been real useful right now.
Would have been a good time for it.
Yeah.
You guys need 1 success to get on this ship. And I would suggest being on top of it rather than being underneath it.
Yeah. Zarkus is gonna swing themselves. Like they're nearing the top at this point. They just got.
I'll say this much with my 2 clever boys who are who have taken the spoiler for this time. You guys start to see as the ship shudders, you start to see the chains moving in unison, And it strikes you, you might have an easier time working together to get up than doing separate actions.
Okay. In that case, Zarkus extends a hand down to Grail.
Nice.
Just like, take my hand. I will swing you up first. I'll get on right after you.
And you swing Grail up, but Grail lets loose, unintentionally lets loose of the grip, and spirals and flies into the horizon. Yeah, Grail. You see two very thin points of light, two still burning cigarettes, sort of like disappearing in the great
Looks like
beyond.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
Up again.
Yeah, Grail takes your hand, smoking and bleeding.
Yeah, why don't you guys roll me the power of friendship? No, I think that both of you need to roll an adaptation traversal roll, both of you together. And since it is a joint roll, you'll just need...
Adaptation traverse.
Yeah, adaptation traversal. All right.
That's one success
for me.
Uh-huh. All right. Yeah, that's only 1d12 for yours truly. It says rolling the dice. For some reason it's taking a minute here.
It does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Roll 20, my favorite app with no issues.
Tell me about it.
Taylor's been having, I don't even know.
I've been going back and forth with Roll20's tech team. Which, by the way, if they're watching, you're very nice. No offense to you. However, man.
Ooh.
I mean, why don't you all roll me a d6, and whoever gets the lowest, let me know.
Okay.
It's a 3.
Rolling the dice. Oh God. Why?
Wow. These dice fucking hate you, Adam. These dice said I'm gonna ruin Adam's night.
Yeah, I mean, keeping it. Go on.
This level of like constant failure of action is like genuinely not great for playtesting. It's hilarious, but it's like
Yeah.
I think in the spirit of this being kind of like a con game, and things are going bad and roll low, Adam, Grail,
yes.
I think the chain that you're on, and you see the end fall, and then you fall. Is there anything you'd like to do with your last action?
Grail takes the marksman rifle, sort of like leans back as he's falling, and tries to fire. I'm trying to think of like what from this angle I have a clean shot at.
Hit those fucking repulsor things. Hit the engines.
Yeah, Grail, I think if I'm making a really finely tuned shot, is that deduction again? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it would be. That's what we've done in the
it's
past.
definitely deduction. Yeah.
Deduction, clockwork?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This is 4d12, 4 die. Somebody play Taps or like a techno remix of Taps. This is Grail's last stand.
That's the song. Taylor, can you write that next time?
Yeah, definitely.
We need like a Songbird death song.
I cannot fucking believe your rolls. This is meteorically bad.
Yeah, I almost don't believe in the concept of mathematics anymore. Like, I've regressed to a pre-numeric state where I think it's like wizardry.
Okay.
Like, I'm superstitious of numbers.
I've said this before, though. Like, Roll20 has these weird nights where it's supposed to be a randomly generated number, but it has shit like this, where like it'll pick on players and it does not feel random.
Can I say this much?
Yeah. Go for
I
it.
mean, you guys are fighting a tear in space and time, and you've been making fun of him this whole time. I'm not saying I created a demon in the Matrix, but like, I might have.
Fair.
It's ridiculous.
Ugh. Does one success get us anything?
Yeah, it definitely does. Before I reduced it by 2, I think it's reduced by 2. Yeah, Grill, it is enough where you bring the bow of this ship down, and the inertia is such that suddenly it is like you are shifting above this thing, almost like you're caught in the back suspensor fields. Not Grail, unfortunately, who has plummeted to his untimely demise. You just see 3 embers fade into the distance.
People say they can still see smoke out there at night.
Yeah. Grail would make the weirdest ghost. Like, oh my god. Just like the way like Grail haunts people is not like really spooky shit necessarily. It's spooky shit as in the sense he sort of like shows up to your campfire and sits down and starts going on about the EPA. Like,
yeah, right. You're walking along and you just hear.
In the middle of an ecological disaster area, there's a ghost ranting about the EPA near you. It's pretty cool.
Going on about the relationship between, the EPA and Area 51, and just like, it's the most tedious haunting ever. Just follows you along the trail late at night, just like going on about obscure conspiracy theories.
You see nothing except for like the occasional like cloud of cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
Suddenly the aft of the ship is